We are back here. Fighting our internet gremlins here tonight. See if everything gets sorted out. Made a quick restart of the computer. For some reason we got a good connection to iRacing, but not a good connection to the streaming itself. So we're trying to get all that sorted. We are currently looking at heat race number 1 here of the Pure Cornhole League and Tournaments Wingless 360 Series. Getting ready to go back green, working lap 4. Right now showing Tyler Silva in the top spot. Trey Schmidt, winner of the midget race, in second. Braden Eiler in third. Anthony Lepresto, Todd LeBeau, Brent Hobson, Jeffrey Stewart, Craig Dunn, and Blake Cannon. Rolling around right now. Back to green. Ten laps the distance in this heat. It is 4 that advance to tonight's A main. So you're looking at Anthony Lepresto there in the 57. Currently holds that final transfer spot. Behind him is the 181 of Brett Hobson. Trying to work his way forward there. Lepresto goes around the 005 of Eiler. A little bit of a different animal now, Billy, as these guys have the larger and more powerful sprint cars to deal with around Limaland.
Yeah, it'll get a lot slicker, a little bit quicker than what it does in the midget race. It's these first few heat races will be pretty much around the bottom, but then it'll start widening out quite a bit more.
Heat race number 1 hits checkers. Silva, Schmidt, Lepresto, and Eiler, your top 4. Advance to tonight's A main. Everybody else going to have to go to the lesser mains and run through the soup. How's it going, Garrett? Fighting some gremlins here tonight, my friend. Getting the stream up and going. Still showing in the red, but at least we're connected. No idea why we're having issues.
There's been a lot of internet outages over the last, a lot of weird things happening. The infrastructure is not the great.
Well, we went from a lot of rain to a lot of heat here in Indiana. That probably doesn't help. Kevin Hanley, Colton Hardy on your front row, heat race number 2. Stephen Hill, Alex Smolders, row number 2. Kevin Click, Chris Roberts, row 3. And John Lepresto and Dustin Griffiths, row 4. It's the second of 3 heat races here tonight. 10 laps the distance. Top 4 will advance to the A main. Getting ready to do battle here. Hanley and Hardy gonna lead them down. Hanley got a little bit of a jump start from Stephen Hill there on the inside. Pushed him out in front of Hardy. Now Hill works the bottom around Alex Smolders. See behind them, Kevin Click, Chris Roberts. Trying to figure out who's going to make a run on these guys. Roberts held that line and Click had to lift. As Dustin Griffiths made a move around the outside. See him working the cushion quite well. Not a whole lot of cars here, Billy, but still very important to get in the feature straight out of your heat race.
Yeah, the less chance for error you can have, the goal is to be in the car as little bit as humanly possible, especially when trying to make the show.
Ooh, upside down there in turn 2 goes John Lepresto. We stay green, however, no caution. Go back out front with Kevin Hanley, who's still holding on to the race lead over the 152 of Hardy. Now Hardy to the high side. Hanley struggling there in turn 1. Race lead taking over.
And a heck of a battle for the transfer spot right now, too. Chris Roberts is up top. Oh!
Problems for Alex Smolders. Found the fence, lost 3 spots there in that battle. Chris Roberts now making contact with Stephen Hill down the front stretch. I was going to say Roberts had the final transfer. Caution flag does wave. I have no idea who's in the transfer now.
Yeah, and it looked like Griffiths got a little high off the corner and kind of gave little Chris Roberts a shoulder check.
Yeah, it seemed like the rear end stepped out on him there. Roberts had nowhere to go. And then Hill got the worst of it. Top 4, Colton Hardy, Kevin Hanley, Dustin Griffiths, and Christopher Roberts taking the final transfer spot there in heat race number 2 as it finishes under caution. Yeah, Garrett, we're still having some issues. Not sure what we can do at this point. Heat race number 3 hitting the track now. On the pole in the 22, it is Mason Hannigan, and to his outside in the 5, Rusty Kruger. Brad Ferrier and James Tiernan make up row number 2, with Todd Brandt and Bo Brunig row 3. Brandon Steele and Aaron Schaefer rounding out your field. Steele, one of the top finishers there in the midget race, found his way onto the podium. Going to have to do a little bit of work here from the rear. Hannigan had a very good midget race before finding some trouble. Be looking to turn his night around here. Heat race number 3 is a good place to start. Going green this time. Hannigan with a good jump there. Faria able to stay level with him coming out of 2. Now he's doing battle with Rusty Kruger there. You see James Tiernan trying to insert himself into this battle. Brandon Steele already up to 5th. Trying to catch up to the rear of that 98. Well, you can see Kruger really quick there on the high side, Billy. Hannigan slid up the track. He had to lift. Looks like the cushion's where it's at right now.
Yeah, you pretty much, the bottom's not gone. It's just the top is so fast. With the changes that they made to the non-wing cars, the cushions just become extremely, extremely fast.
You see Tiernan is so dedicated to the bottom, he's running under some of the infield tires there. We got a great race shaping up for the race lead. Hannigan on the outside, Brad Faria trying to find his way around on the bottom. Both of these guys giving each other room. Rusty Kruger kind of boxed out right now as they do battle for the race lead. Waiting on one of those guys to make a mistake. Hannigan now is cleared by the 72. He's going to try to get to the bottom down the front stretch. Farias got the angle, however. That gives Kruger the outside on the 22 of Hannigan. Really good bite there for Hannigan, who's going to have a shot to the inside as Faria goes to the top of the track. Wow! Excellent move there on the bottom by Mason Hannigan. Regains the top spot. Problems for James Tiernan, who hit the fence. He's got it under control. But your top 4 here on the final lap, battling it out. Mason Hannigan has the race lead. Brad Faria is trying the inside to make his way around. He's not going to be able to hold it. Hannigan's going to win. Faria second. Kruger third. And James Tiernan taking the final transfer spot in 4th. B-Main going to hit the track now. 8 cars transferring into tonight's A. Means 5 guys are going to be sent home. Total of 20 cars that will do battle in tonight's 40-lapper.
Should be interesting. Got a lot of fast cars in this one. Click, Smolders, there's a lot of them in there.
You take a look at just the guys who are on the outside. Stewart, Dunn, LaPresto. All of those guys going to try to be making some spots here. Your starting lineup looks like this. In the 181, it is Brent Hobson, and to his outside in the 311, it's Alex Smolders. Brandon Steele and Todd LeBoux, row number 2. Kevin Click, Todd Brandt, row 3. Row 4 belongs to Blake Cannon and Stephen Hill. Aaron Schaefer, Jeffrey Stewart, row 5. Rounding out your field is John LaPresto, Bo Brunig, and Craig Dunn. As we said, top 8 will advance to the A. 12 laps the distance here. Brent Hobson going to lead them down. Good start for Hobson, but he's unable to get to the top of the track. That opens the door for Alex Smolders, who's going to take control of the race. On the high side, we saw Smolders was very quick in the heat race, had some trouble there late, which put him into B, but now he's showing the way. We got some contact here at the rear of the field. It's Craig Dunn around as the caution flag flies. We can back it up here. Looks like Todd Brandt is going to find some trouble here. And I believe Dunn is going to make his way into it. You can see he and Hill were into the fence. Dunn coming up on that battle a little too quickly. He's still out on the track, but showing a lap down. Stephen Hill and Todd Brandt are off the racing surface, I do believe. Right now, it's John LaPresto holding on to the transfer spot. He's up 3 from where he started. Jeffrey Stewart in 9th, trying to make his way into the A main. Smolders has control. We're going to go back green, working lap 7. Here we go. Right now, Billy, we got some damaged cars at the back of the field. Still, big battle for the transfer spot, but some of these guys that are in the top 8, do you kind of take it a little easy here and try to protect that transfer rather than making big moves and possibly finding trouble, as the 144 of Blake Cannon does?
You're kind of stuck. You really, in these cars, if you're off the gas, they don't really turn very well. So you really can't ride. You kind of got to go, and especially with taking 8 cars, the difference between finishing 8th and 4th is a couple of rows in the feature. So it's definitely worth it to race as hard as possible. You know, you don't want to take yourself or anybody else out while doing it, but being aggressive as possible while still being somewhat under control.
really unfortunate for Cannon there, who caught an infield tire on a slide job. This race is going to end. Jeffrey Stewart made his way up to 5th. 6th goes to Aaron Schaefer. John Lopresto, the final transfer position. Kevin Click also making his way through. We got the 2-minute warm-up here before the feature gets going. I want to remind you that Wicked Relief Gum is your daily dose of CBD in the form of a chew. Each piece is 10 milligrams of CBD and absorbs 5 times faster than other products. Whether it's pain, inflammation, anxiety, or insomnia, Wicked Relief Gums offers quick and easy relief. Just go to wickedgumcbd.com, use code DOBRL for 10% off your order and free shipping on race days. The DOBRL code also works on wickedenergygum.com for a boost of energy and focus as well. So we're getting ready for the feature. Dustin Griffiths, as you see right there, currently has the quickest time in practice. James Tiernan, P4. Colton Hardy in 2nd quick right now.
And this track is getting ready to change a lot. The middle's starting to really get slick. The cushion's getting way close to the wall. This is going to be a real interesting race because there's going to be a lot of guys at the bottom, I think, rolling around trying to make it work. It's going to be those risk versus reward guys up around the finish.
Get to ride along with Hardy there a little bit. See what kind of conditions these guys are going to be dealing with. Luckily for us, at least right now, I'd hate to jinx it, but our connection from OBS to Restream has suddenly gone green. So God willing, here for our 40-lap feature, we're going to have a clear picture. Don't want to talk about the no-no, but then again, here we are. Let's talk about our starting lineup on the pole in the 317. It is Tyler Silva, and to his outside in the 152, Colton Hardy. Mason Hannigan and Trey Schmidt, row number 2, with Kevin Handley and Brad Ferrier, row 3. Anthony Lopresto and Dustin Griffiths make up row number 4, with Rusty Kruger and Braden Eiler, row 5. Chris Roberts and James Tiernan, Alex Smolders and Brent Hobson, Brandon Steele and Todd LeBeau, Kevin Click, John Lopresto, Jeffrey Stewart, and Bo Brunig round out your field. 40 laps, Billy. Lot of action coming our way. Quarter-mile racetrack. Little overcast weather. 69 degrees. These cars are going to make a lot of horsepower, and we are in for one hell of a show. Starting right here, Tyler Silva leading them down. Hardy on the outside. Silva able to cut across. He's got a good start there. Problems already is that Faria into the fence and upside down. He flips over top of Kevin Click. That car not going to land on its wheels. That's going to be a quick end for Brad Faria here in tonight's feature. Gonna back it up, get a replay. See the 72 on the high side of the track there, just straight into the fence.
It looked to me from the angle that I'm watching right now, it looked to me like Lepresto got in, and Faria just got in his right rear up into the fence.
Yeah, I think he kind of took the line away from him. I'm not sure there was much Faria could do about that one.
No, and especially with these cars, with the wings on them, you can a lot of times make something happen. But the non-wing cars, you have to be so aggressive on corner entry that it's real hard to change your angle of attack with them. That's for sure.
Well, Lepresto still scored in 5th. Looks like he's not going to claim that caution. It might be something the admins will look at after the race. We do have the 3-strike system in play, so that might come in. But we're going back green here. White flag lap moves to lap 43. Ooh, problems for the race leader. Silva got in on the cushion. Seemed like he buried the right front there. Nearly gave away the race lead to Colton Hardy, who's going to slide up in front of the midget race winner, Trey Schmidt, who gives way. He's still struggling up there on the high side, is Schmidt, losing a lot of positions, dropping back. See Chris Roberts working the inside of him right there. 3rd place now belongs to that 57 of Anthony Lepresto. Good-looking race car there. Working the high side through 3 and 4. Rusty Kruger in 4th. Caution flag's going to fly here.
Seems like a pretty quick yellow if it's for who it looks like it. Looks like him and Mason got into it coming off a 4. And just kind of did a little half spin down the front straight.
Well, not a whole lot there, but always good to give these guys a break every once in a while. White flag moves to lap 46 now. See Lepresto up 4 spots, Rusty Kruger up 5. Roberts and Smolders also making their way forward in this race.
I will say, before that little half spin, James was up to 7th from, was that 12th, 13th, something like that. So he's moving up quite a bit before that little half spin.
Showing Tiernan,
back.
Yep, back in 12th now, so right back where he started. Gonna have to restart that battle. This race is underway once again. We got one car upside down. Trying to find out who that is. That's Mason Hannigan in the 22. Looks like that car's got some significant damage on it. We're gonna back it up. Watch the restart here. Looks like Mason could not get that rear end to rotate. Front end pushed into the fence, and he went over. I do believe that car's tracking sideways. He's still out there, so no meatball on that car. He was running the front of this pack, however, so it's a very unfortunate turn of events for Mr. Hannigan. White flag lap moves to lap 49. Caution flag laps do not count towards our total. Tyler Silver going to give him green once more here, coming off of turn 4. The action is fast and furious here at the virtual Limaland Raceway. See Lepresto making a move on 2nd place. Hardy there. Boy, a little bit of early contact for Anthony Lepresto, but he is making his way forward, Billy, and Lepresto is one that's known for his non-wing prowess as well. Ooh, he took the lead. I talked good about him, but then look at it. Lepresto into the fence. Gives the lead away. That puts Hardy in the race lead before Silva takes that back. Silva has a little bit of a blink issue there. Hopefully he can get that sorted out. Not sure if Hardy knows exactly where he's going to be next. He's taking it easy, trying to pick his spots. You see the 317 making a little bit of contact with the fence. Wild turn of events there. Trey Schmidt now around the 57 of Lepresto, who has fallen back. He's actually out in the pits now. Not sure if he had damage from that contact with the fence. Lepresto took the lead before finding the wall, which gave the lead back to Silva and was taken away by Hardy, and then back to Silva. And now we've got the 12 of Trey Schmidt, who took race 1 tonight in the Wicked Energy Gun Midgets. He's looking for a sweep here, Billy.
I'm just paying attention to everybody's having a lot of trouble down in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, not so much. But the cushion's really, really thin down there, and you got to enter in on it. And a lot of guys are getting up and hitting the fence. So it's going to be interesting to see how many laps are left to see who doesn't end up fencing it.
Well, you mentioned him, Billy. We were watching the problems that Tyler Silva had. He got into the fence, lost some positions. One of the positions that he lost was to James Tiernan, who has made his way into 4th in this race and is currently working on 3rd place right now. He's running that bottom really well.
Which is weird, because James is normally a non-wing or a topside guy, but it seems whenever we come to Lima, he's always on the bottom.
Caution flag waves here. Trying to find out what happened. See Jeffrey Stewart making contact with the fence. Don't think that's what brought out the caution. You hear some contact in turn 1. Sometimes it's hard to come across these incidents here. I think a quarter-mile track would give us a little more help, but it doesn't. Trey Schmidt out front. Alex Smolders up 10 spots to 3rd. James Tiernan up 8. We got to watch that battle. Tiernan was working the inside of Smolders there as the caution flag flew. Now Smolders goes to the bottom. Those two cars wheel to wheel. Tiernan's got the position right now. Smolders slides up the track. He's got Eiler to his outside. 3 wide off of turn 2. Those guys not giving each other any quarter. Eiler looks to have 3rd spot now, working the outside. Kruger gets around Smolders. A little bit of contact there. Kruger puts the slide job on Eiler. Braden now. Back on Kruger to the inside, who gets into the fence just a little bit. Shaking it out there. Billy, is the bottom going away for Tiernan there? We're seeing these guys on the cushion really starting to make some good runs.
Same thing from the midget race. The bottom just seems to be gone. The top, I don't think, is a lot better. It's just the bottom. You have to slow down so much in order to make it work. And the top side's just all about momentum. You can keep your momentum up and just roll around the top and okay. As long as you can keep it out of the fence, which Eiler just caught it a little bit there.
Ooh, Smolders too. Now Kruger as well. That cushion, the fast way around, but you can see how much those guys are struggling with it. Tiernan has his money on the bottom side of the track, maybe protecting himself from some damage here. The laps are winding down, however. Trey Schmidt right now is in the race lead. He's got Colton Hardy bearing down on him. Hardy into the fence just a little bit. Gives away a little bit of time there, but the big thing, Billy, lap traffic going to play a part very, very soon.
And Smolders off the racetrack. I'm not sure what happened.
I think that might have been damage from that contact that he had with the fence. Seemed like that was about 3 laps after. If he got a meatball flag, he finally had to give up.
And look at Chris Roberts, the silent gasser.
He's making his
into
way
play.
forward. We got our eyes on the race leader right now. Trey Schmidt, very, very quick, but now has to work his way through the rear of the field, and to do so at an accelerated pace because Colton Hardy is right behind him, waiting on him to make a mistake so that he can take over control of the race lead.
Heavy, heavy lap traffic. This is where it's going to get very, very interesting
Schmidt,
to see how he can get through the traffic.
you see him pinned in behind Hanley. He's going to shoot through the middle. Oh, you boys want to go too wide? Well, here, just let me squeeze through. Caution flag waves. See Dustin Griffiths into the fence. That's not the reason for the caution. We've got one car upside down there in turn 2. It's that Rusty Kruger. See what happens to Rusty here. Goes down into turn number 1. That car just did not rotate it how he liked. And goodness gracious, a little bit of a pirouette there for the number 5 before coming to a halt. Lap 55 now becomes our white flag lap, Billy.
It's going to be interesting. You got two guys that are known for the non-wing stuff. Then you got Eiler, who really says that he doesn't like him too awful much running third. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays.
Eiler, Roberts, Tiernan, and Steele, Click. All of those guys made their way from deep in this field. We're going to go green here, working lap 47. 8 left for these guys to do battle. Trey Schmidt working that slider line like he was in the midget race. We're going to see if it shows him the same kind of success. Colton Hardy now right on top of Schmidt. He was making his way through lap traffic, but he probably didn't want to see that yellow come out because that brings these guys into the battle. Braden Eiler right there with them as well. Caution flag waves once again. I think Dustin Griffiths might have had an issue there. See some damage to the front of his car. I gotta say, the cameras at Limaland are not ideal. See contact with Kevin Click going into turn 1. Wow! Dustin stayed on the gas trying to see if he could do a 360 and keep that car going, but it actually took a set. And he found himself into the turn 1 wall quite hard. .58 now becomes the white flag lap. And once more, Billy, Colton Hardy's going to have a shot at our race leader.
Yeah, and it's just going to come down to who's not going to make the mistake because the track's pretty much gone from top to bottom. There's really not a dominant line. It's just now keeping your momentum up around the top and don't get into the fence and don't make that mistake.
Ooh, Hardy giving him a little bit of a bump. It crosses everybody up. Eiler going to struggle with that the most. Here comes Tiernan for second. The inside of Hardy. Hardy's going to hold him off. We saw Hardy try to get the jump there and kind of telegraph when Schmidt went. Ooh, big problems there. Is that Mason Hannigan upside down once again? Yes, it is. Kevin Click as well having some trouble. This time, that's going to do it for Mr. Hannigan. He was making his way back forward. Still on the lead lap.
That's kind of a wild one. I'm not really sure there's anybody that hasn't hit the wall yet.
Yeah, it's been one of those nights at Lima. I don't know if we got a full moon, but it sure feels like it. .61 now becomes our white flag lap. Trey Schmidt still on top, but he's got to deal with another restart. Last time Colton Hardy tried to get the jump on him. It ended up costing him, as well as a couple other drivers. Braden Eiler all the way back to 6th now after that contact with Hardy. They have 4 laps left. Getting down to the nitty-gritty here at Limaland. Schmidt with a good start, working that slider line. Hardy trying to stay at the top of the track, keep his momentum up. Chris Roberts now rolling in 4th. Tiernan right there as well. Hardy into the fence.
Eiler back to 4th. Eiler is on the move on the top side of the racetrack right now.
But does he have enough time to make any more moves? Tiernan into the fence. Wow, I can't believe he didn't go over there. He's going to lose a couple of spots. 2 laps left in this race. Trey Schmidt has control. He took the midget race earlier, looking to make a clean sweep of the evening. 1 lap to go. Caution flag's going to wave before he takes it, however. We are not going to end this race quite yet.
It looks like Tiernan did get a meatball that last one as he pulls her on in.
Let's see the issue there. Looked like Brunig made his way off the track. Tough break for Tiernan as well, back in 7th now.
I think he actually thought that the race was over at that point.
Is that what it was? Maybe that's what...
Because he's back out on the racetrack in 7th, so we'll see if he can move back up here in the next 2 laps.
Laps winding down, cars winding down. Green, white, checkered here at Lima. Schmidt, Hardy, and Eiler. Eiler trying to make a move for 2nd place. Schmidt, he's got control. Hardy's into the fence. 2 more corners. Trey Schmidt looking at a clean sweep here at Limaland tonight in DOB competition. Coming up before he's going to do it and take the Pure Cornhole League and Tournaments Wingless 360 win.
That was a wild one.
I thought the entire night, man, just unbelievable. We've had technical difficulties. We've had all kinds of crashes and yellows. What a wild wingless race to end it all off. See if we can get these guys in the broadcast booth here. We do have the race winner, Trey Schmidt. Trey, what is this, man? Are you just like a Limaland god or something? Come on, brother.
Oh, man. You know, 2 weeks ago, a buddy of mine gave me a setup. And when I sat in it for the first time, I almost fell out the driver's side. And I was like, it can't work because it's got tons of tilt. And so I tweaked on it, but I left the tilt in it. So I don't know, man. It's really easy to drive, and it's kind of doesn't do anything stupid. So as long as you don't hit the wall, it's pretty damn good.
Well, I gotta say, that seemed to be the way to go here tonight. I think everybody but you found the fence. Maybe you may even brushed it a little bit, but clearly not as much as everybody else. You started there in 4th, but there was all kinds of action. You just kind of made your way through it.
Yeah, the whole key here is to just finish with these cars. And so a buddy of mine was in this race, and he said, I'm going to run the bottom for a long time. And when I took the lead, I said, it's time to get up top because this is where it's at. And I just kept it clean, just tried to race everybody as clean as I could and keep my car clean, and it worked out. And those restarts were nerve-wracking. My hands are kind of shaking.
Well, 2 races tonight, 2 wins. Got to make you feel pretty good. And now You're the guy that everybody's got to talk about until tomorrow. Congratulations, Trey Smith, double winner at the Limaland Speedway and DOB competition. Well done, man.
Thank y'all.
We've got third place, Braden Eiler, in here as well from the Kinzer Sim team. Braden, that one was a wild one for you there. I think you started, around 9th or 10th? Came forward, went backwards, came forward. You feel a little bit like a yo-yo, jerked around just a touch?
Yeah, a little bit. I started mid-pack, and I wasn't really expecting to pull a top 3 out of it. I don't really run these too often, but it was kind of getting slick there at the end where 1 and 2, the cushion wouldn't really hold the car a whole lot, so you really had to be really careful there. If you drove it in too hard, you were going to be in the fence. I saw a lot of guys, do that and get in the fence up in it too much, but I just kind of tried to hang on.
Well, there at the end, you were able to get back by. You see that next to last restart looked like Colton was trying to make a move there for the race lead. Just went a little too early, and you were the guy that paid the price for it. I think you went back to 7th. What was that final restart like, getting those spots back?
Yeah, I got back to 6th after that, but caution kind of helped me there. If it weren't for the caution, I probably would have been going back more because I got stuck in the bottom after that. But I knew Chris was gonna go to the bottom. That's just how Chris is. He's bottom feeder. Brandon, I wasn't really sure where he was gonna go, but thankfully he kind of ran the middle and the bottom, and I was able to have the top side to drive around him. But I think if I would have been a little more patient there towards the end, I might have stole 2nd from Hardy.
Well, third place finish. You say that you're more of a wing guy yourself, so podium finish here tonight on what was a very, very tough evening all the way around. Got to make you feel pretty good, have a little confidence going forward in these non-wing championships.
Yeah, the last couple of times I ran these, I actually got podiums, so it's just trying to survive and hang on and don't screw up, because these cars, any little mistake you make, you're gonna pay.
Well, congratulations, Braden. Top 3 here tonight. And we'll look forward to seeing you out in 410 competition tomorrow night.
Yeah, sadly I won't be here tomorrow, but thanks to the team and all my sponsors. Third Racing Network, Rockstar Productions, Border Tire, Wig Cushion, and thanks to DOB and you guys for putting.
There you have it, third place, Braden Eiler. We've got Colton Hardy here in the chat as well. He's got his mic muted. Colton, you got us?
Yes, sir.
Second place here tonight. We saw you have a little bit of an issue there. It was a tough track for everybody. Found your way into the fence a couple of times, but you were able to recover well and come home just one step short of that top on the podium.
Yeah, I just made too many mistakes. I definitely had a car that could win the race. I just choked and made way too many mistakes there early and let Trey get out front, and then made way too many mistakes when I was behind him.
How hard was that track to not make mistakes there? We saw the bottom was really quick there for a little bit. That seemed to go away, and then everybody was on the top, but it seemed like it was pretty thin and very easy to find your way over it and into the fence.
Yeah, it's just the iRacing cushion. There's really nothing up there, and if you get up over it, you're just into the fence. So, I mean, it was a real technical track, but happy to come home second.
Yeah, you've had a lot of quick cars here in DOB competition recently. Maybe not catching the luck that you want. Maybe this makes you feel a little better coming home second, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. We'll regroup, do some 410 racing tomorrow, then come back next Tuesday.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but it is Williams Grove tomorrow, so we're not going to get rid of those yellows, most likely. We saw plenty here tonight. We saw plenty last night. We might as well make it 3 for 3, right?
I mean, probably, but Williams Grove's always races real good with 410, so hopefully we could carry the speed over we've had since the beginning of this week over to tomorrow.
Well, good luck tomorrow night. Second place, Colton Hardy. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
That's going to be it for us tonight. It's been a wild one. Through technical difficulties, multiple cautions, wild action out there on the track. We have survived. Just like we were saying, tomorrow night will be 410 sprint car action at the at the Williams Grove Speedway once more, like we saw last night. We saw some great racing at Williams Grove, and we also saw a lot of wildness. So no doubt we'll see the same thing when we come back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Jeffrey Stewart calling out that he was the hard charger out there. We saw him moving forward, but we had so many cautions and wild things going on up front. Made it complicated there, but Stewart survived to make his way forward in that race, and we'll look to see what he can do tomorrow night. 410s at Williams Grove. We hope you join us once more. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you next time.